Before we dive into this episode, I just want to let you know if you want to get access to episodes before anybody else, head on over to patreon.com/concerts that made us. And as a bonus, you'll get access to videos of some of the episodes and a host of other benefits. We've also teamed up with Band Builder Academy to offer you 10% off their membership. Details of both can be found in the show notes below.
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The show is about to begin.
Welcome to the podcast, concerts that made us, interviews and stories, tales from the bus. We love taking you back to when it all went down, the greatest live shows and the cheering crowd sound. It's concerts, concerts that made us, concerts that made us.com.
This is Marianna
and Ody from Project Renegade.
and you're listening to Concerts That Made Us.
Marianna and Ody, you're very welcome to Concerts That Made Us.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
It's great to have you now. I'm looking forward to diving into your music over the next bit. So you guys released your sophomore album, Ultra Terra, back in July. I love the themes behind the album. Can you tell us all about it?
Oh, well, coming off of our previous album, Order of the Minus, I think we wanted to really hone in on what we were trying to say as we were, we were a very young band at the time. And I think we wanted to really hit home with our message. So we decided, that what we were all about in our lives at that specific point, we were, very concerned about how mankind progresses into a more technological path that is designed to, in theory, just try to help give us a life of of convenience. But then again, as human beings, we're born to be active beings in this world, and this all this technological advancement just ends up pacifying us and trying to control us into losing our critical thinking, and mostly trying to just pacify the public, and we just blindly follow that trend, and we don't deal with things that we should deal with, like political corruption or or the degradation of humankind. And we just wanted to have a full message, leave no stone unturned into what we are trying to achieve here. So that pretty much covers it in the general idea of the whole thing. I don't know, Marianna, if you want to add to that, be a little bit more specific.
What we wanted pretty much to say is just pose the questions and get people into thinking a little bit about what's going on today and where we're headed. Just start a conversation, I should say, because technology is like something neutral, and progress most of the time is something that is advantageous and positive. But sometimes people abuse it, and people try to profit out of everything. And being here in Greece in the last 2 decades, I think we know that thing has been made a bit more clear to us. We've been through a lot. We're still going through a lot. I don't know if you've seen the news during the past week, but we had a major disaster here from flooding, and a lot of also fires and stuff like that. And we just wanted to pose the questions and to ask people to think about how the world is today and how the world is proposed to us for tomorrow, how the world is presented and by the powers that be, I should say. And therefore, people need to ask themselves how our future wants, to be in the next, few years, in the next few decades. And,
I think it's like posing questions like, where is the line? Is there a line? Should there be a line? Have we gone too far, or haven't we gone,
far enough?
Yeah, far enough. It's just a little bit of a social critique, I would say, and trying to come up with, answers and counter suggestions to try and help and show people, that there might be a more humanitarian way into doing things, and putting us as humans, on the forefront, rather than believing in any idea that is like Mariana said, that is proposed to us, and that is spoon fed to us. It's all about diving back into who we are, where we came from, and where should we go as people.
I actually love that. It's a very important topic that, should be at the forefront of people's minds, instead of being, like you said, turned into sheep and just following what we're told and spoon fed, it's something that a lot of people don't really think about as well. And it's surprising. But, when you have such ideas, how do you transfer them into songs? How did you guys approach the songwriting?
I think in that part, the most challenging thing, is to try to find the correct way to put all that stuff in the lyrics. Because, metal music is quite aggressive and, can express a lot of, dark emotions, a lot of, anger, a lot of, rebellion and, desperation. But how do you put that in a way that that inspires people, and that is not like a cheesy line that you put on a song just to get the attention. For me, it needs to be needs to have a deeper meaning, and so far we have like a process between Ody and I, that that we talk about a subject that is going to be the main theme of the song, and we just share ideas. We just have long conversations, and from those conversations, for me, I just I pick some words, not even whole phrases, but some words, and then for a magical reason, that can be transformed into like a full-blown song with lyrics that just express exactly what we have in mind.
It's about I think it's about giving the right person the right amount of stimuli to help him work. Like for me, I'm a very conscious, socially conscious person, and in order to convey those things to Mariana, I need to have a sit down with her and just go over things and just have her like spitball with me and just go back and forth and see what kind of tickles a nerve that will help her get inspired. I do the same thing with Philip and with Jay, our other members. It's all about making people understand what we're going for, but in order to be honest and be artistically honest, I guess you have to let your people be themselves. You cannot control them into playing what you want them to play, because that will be just a one-sided thing, and then it's just an opinion. But when you help people follow the same path but still retain some individuality, then you have a group effort rather than a solitary opinion. That creates a much more powerful message. So it's all about getting on the same page and be very understanding of and be in agreement with each other of what we want to do. And I guess for me, musically, it's a whole different thing, because I don't touch lyrics that much. I think in one EP and 2 records right now, I've only like written some lyrics like twice or something. It's just a very low effort on my part, because I think that would mess with Mariana's message. And when you have such a strong vocalist with such a strong message, if it ain't broke, you don't want to fix it. So for me, it's all about conveying the emotion and setting the emotional bed for Mariana to do her thing musically. So it's all about writing riffs and synths and coming up with arrangements and compositions that will spark that fire into my bandmates to be on the same page and make, an idea the best that it can be. Sometimes, sometimes just come up with songs and nobody touches them and they're just ready because we all agree that this is, a great thing. But other times, I might be, this is a little rough. This is what I'm going, and we just all jump and we work together. But the main thing, the goal is, what is the original vision? Stay true to that and never waver off. It's just follow the vision until it's, until the job is done.
Yeah. And it's been a couple of months now since it was released. How was it received? How has the reaction been?
I think it's been great so far.
So far so good, thankfully.
Feedback is very positive. People seem to enjoy it very much, which is, something that I'm always quite happy about, because, nowadays, and I understand people, and musicians trying to say that I just put it out in the ether and then I just don't deal with it at all because, the internet, the comments and all that stuff. I genuinely, also tend to not dwell on negativity that much, but I'll be remiss if I didn't say that, I want people to like my music, and I'm very happy, when people like my music, and I want them to like it. And it's something that I think about. I want them to have fun with it. I want them to be inspired by it. So it's, for me, I don't know about you, Marianna. For me, it's been great so far. And
what I like the most is, the fact that people realize there was like a change in our sound, and like a level up, I should say, in what we want to do musically. And for me, the best comment is that anybody can give me is that you have an element there that anybody can, that everybody can relate to. Yeah. I think the fusion of of different styles and of different elements is something that that is being even more prominent as we move on musically. And it's our goal to just fuse as many things that we like as possible, because we do like a lot of things, and but do that in a cohesive and and unified way, just to create that Project Renegade sound.
I gotcha. And once you guys release a big body of work like that, are you the type of band that kind of sit back and let it kind of go out into the ether for a while, or are you straight away thinking about the next project?
I think
we are the type of band that has already written a couple of songs before the album is even released, or the next one. We write constantly. I mean, there is a joke that runs in the band, that we always say, "Oh, we're not gonna do another album because it's too much hassle. It's too many songs. We're not gonna do that again." And the next. After a few months, you have like 10 songs, and you're gonna say, "Okay, we're gonna have an album."
Yeah. The thing that time was like we wrapped things up, and we were like, "Okay, so we're just doing singles from now on. I'm not writing, and 2 songs at the same time. Ain't happening, man. Ain't doing it." And then we just have like 15 songs ready, and we're like, shit. I guess we're doing another album.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we are maniacs, dude. I mean, I specifically can't seem to wrap my head around, like chilling, just taking it easy for a little bit. I do want to go in, like, when a record's done, I do tend to have that feeling of, going in hiding, away in hiding for like a couple of years. But after like a month, I get so fidgety and anxious, and like, I gotta do something. I just gotta do something.
You have to scratch that itch, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I have to scratch that itch.
Oh man. And I suppose at this stage, so we'll give the listeners a sense of some of your early influences to give them a sense of where you come from. Now it's a bit of a tricky one, but can you remember your earliest musical memory?
I've seen a video where my dad is an architect and he was working late hours. And when me and my sister were babies, he used to like come home and play some, some jazz and, just not a lot of heavy music, although he's a big rocker and because he didn't want to wake us up. But I would always wake up and there's this video of my dad listening to John Coltrane and I'm just, crawling on my hands and feet going up to him. And just when the song starts, I just turn around in my back and just, start laughing like, like crazy. And I was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, something like that. So I remember like my parents always telling me that, music always spoke to you even since you were a baby.
Mm.
I mean, I don't remember that. I've seen that. I don't remember it though, but I'm, I have this very vivid memory of like me and my dad just, like rocking out and dancing to like the Clash and Sex Pistols and like, uh, the whole like British punk movement at the time with, that was coming out and just my dad, being very into that and like the Stones and, classic rock and me just vibing with it a lot and just hitting, pots and pans and, pretending, that a spoon is a guitar and, just all these things. But the first time I said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna play the drums. I think I was 9 years old and just I think Limp Bizkit came on MTV and I just saw John Otto, just bashing his drums and I was like, that guy's like the coolest, MFer ever. And I was so like set on becoming, drummer and just stuff like that, like local concerts they were taking us. I remember, like seeing, like rock bands and thinking it was very cool and dancing to music was a big part of it. I used to, love dancing to music when I was a child. So I guess, yeah, I'll just say, me like rocking out to the Sex Pistols with my dad. I guess it's the earliest memory of me, like, realizing that, wow, there's this thing like called music and it's powerful and amazing. And I just want to move to it and, act crazy.
I like it. I like it. It's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
For me, it was I remember, when I was like a little child, there used to be like a gift when you bought a newspaper. There used to be like some albums that were like a gift with the newspaper every time you would buy it. And I remember having, different types of music in our home back then, from Latin to Greek music to classical music. And then, when I was really, really, really young, like 5 years old, I started, taking piano lessons. And, I started listening to a little bit of, like classical music mostly around that time. And, I didn't used to back then, just I listened to everything that was, was playing in my house. So I didn't have like a specific genre that, I liked. But, coming, on my teen years, I felt the need just to, that's how I remember it. I felt the need for something more. I felt that, I needed that I had, um, I should say darker feelings or more angsty feelings. I don't know. And I couldn't find, the right type of music that could express what I was feeling back then. And then I remember also my dad telling me that he used to that his favorite band was Pink Floyd.
Oh,
And I said, okay, let's try and listen a little bit to Pink Floyd, and then Queen, and then Ramones. And I started, um exploring those bands, and those bands led me to something else, and then something else, and next thing you know, I'm buying a System of a Down album, and watching like the Headbangers Ball on MTV, and the heavy metal shows, and
that was also a big thing.
And I was always whatever they proposed, I just want to go get that album.
Just blindly
what that was, but I wanted to buy that album, and I started making that like a hobby. I remember going down to the album store and just browsing the cover art and seeing the different bands, and once in every 2 weeks, I don't know, I could give like my pocket money and buy one album. So I think that I mostly got involved in the heavier type of music when I was like a teenager. But I was always close to music. I was always listening to music. I remember me playing piano concerts when I was really little. So I should say that in any period of my life, I was like always involved with something musical, be it an instrument or vocals.
Right. I have to say, you made me, you unlocked a memory for me that I haven't thought of in a long time. That whole going down to like the record shop and looking at the album art covers to decide what you would buy. I actually kind of feel a bit sorry for the generation today that they don't actually have that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you know what, I was thinking the same thing, and also I just want to add that do you remember back then, every album you bought wasn't just, I'm just going to go and buy an album. It was like an investment. It had to be good. You had to like it because you were going to buy the next one in like a month or like 2 weeks from then. And you just put it on, and either you just vibe with it and it was amazing. And, like in, beautiful in all its glory, or if it would like suck or whatever, you would like, oh no, like, I have to spend like 2 weeks and to get another one. And you just, you went through the booklet and you just read all the linear notes and the thank you notes and, whatnot.
And you knew each and every song. You have spent time with each and every song and heard and listened to it like a lot of times. You knew how it went. You knew the lyrics. I don't know if today is that the type of process that that the younger generation.
I don't think they consume music that much. I don't even think music means to them, that much, because they don't have that connection. I think it's more something that follows and enriches, visual stimuli nowadays.
Or maybe we're too old and do not understand.
Yeah. Or maybe we're in the damn I'm too old box now.
Probably.
Yeah.
And growing up then, what was your local music scene like, and how does it compare to today? I know specifically on this show, the Greek music scene isn't a scene we'd get too much insights into.
I mean, there are always bands, and and nowadays they do a pretty good job. Back then it was mostly either like black metal, like we have one of the strongest black metal scenes in like Europe or something. I've read that in a research that we have like so many like black metal bands apart from Sweden or something, or like Finland. And we also have a very strong hip hop culture and a very strong punk scene. So for us, diving into all those different genres of extreme music, you were kind of an outsider because you say, for myself, where I'm not like the biggest black metal fan and only know like a couple of bands that I enjoy, and I enjoyed the punk scene a lot, but not so much. I don't think it has evolved that much as funk music has evolved, you know, in the rest of the world. And so you were a little bit of an outcast, you know. You were fitting a little bit here and a little bit there, but not, you know, not quite. And you knew, and they knew, and you just, you know, you have all these people that, you know, they have a strong, you know, like scene in their genre, but it's not very, it's not very, you know, there's not that thing of, you know, like fusion and crossover that goes on. That doesn't happen that much now. There, you can literally count those bands in the palm of your one hand, and it's, you know, after that, you know, those kind of trends died down. The stoner rock and prog metal scene just blossomed into what it is today. But then again, that still happens for like the better part of 20 years. So it's, for us, it's very stale and something that we stopped enjoying a long time ago. And, you know, there is this need for something new. It's a scene that evolves very slowly. For me, at least, this is my personal opinion. I know that a lot of people like this music. They do enjoy it, and by no means I'm taking a shot at them. I appreciate what they are doing. But, you know, for people like me who want something new all the time, it's very hard to kind of dig into your own place and find new stuff. It's, you know, right now it's all about, you know, either prog metal or stoner rock, and it's been like that for 20 years. And, you know, some people have had enough, some people enjoy it. So it's kind of, you know, kind of divisive, kind of, you know, kind of, I guess, you know, here or there. But a lot of, you know, a lot of bands are, you know, assembled by a good group of people, and so, you know, my hats and my respect is off to them. But I do think we need more variety.
Yeah, I agree also that we do need a lot more variety. And for me, it's the biggest problem is that we do not keep up with the times and how the music evolves and how, you know, the world responds to the new types, the new genres that are coming out, and, you know, and how things are progressing, you know, in the big markets like the UK, like the US. We are a little bit, you know, a step or a few steps behind that. And we always seem to like catch up when it's too late, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why there are bands who like us. I think that there are a lot of bands like us here in Greece that, you know, that keep up with the times, but do not have like the platform to go out and you know, spread their music and, you know, gain some, you know, fan, you know, and build their fan base, because they do not have a place right now, because like Ody said, we are pretty much a two genre type of, you know, of local scene.
Yeah.
And also for me, the biggest disadvantage is that there are literally like a handful of appropriate places to play here.
Yeah, you got like out of from the top of my head, like
two or three
clubs you can play.
Yeah, in the whole country.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where you can have, you know, a proper show, you know.
Yeah.
Show, yeah. And that is like a big mistake, because there are so many bands, you know. Greek bands are so many. I think we have you know, like, I don't know, like
countless bands. There are countless.
Yeah,
I mean, if you keep up with the scene, it's like you have so much stuff to sink your teeth into, and it's really cool if you're a music fan. But that's the thing. It's they're coming out the woodwork. You know, it's like let's play. You know what, this band, you know, had success playing that, so, you know, another 30 bands, do the same thing. And there's not a lot of, boundary pushing, which is definitely something I'm all about. I love going, how can we take this further? How can we make it, more off the wall and more of, and crazier and just gnarly.
And it's difficult to have professional bands that will be able to showcase their music to the world if you don't give them the chance to become professionals. If you always treat musicians like they're amateurs or like hobby bands that like teenage bands that want to just
Do their thing.
do their thing, and it's okay, nothing's going to happen from that point on, and that is not okay, because there are people who are actually striving to become professional musicians. And I believe that if the industry, the Greek music industry, took the metal bands a little bit, in a more serious way, I should say, and help them build their professional output to the world, you would hear a lot more from from our scene, I believe.
Yeah, very true. Very true. And, for any listeners that haven't caught one of your shows, what can they expect? Lay it all out for them if you can.
Well, we started out pretty, pretty hardcore. It was like, we barely had instruments to play when we started. So it was like, okay, you have to compete with all those bands that have lights and video walls and they're playing together for like 30 years or whatever. And we were like, okay, we don't have all of that and we have to give them a show. So we are going to be the show, So we are pretty, if I may say so, myself, we're pretty relentless out there, Marianna is, very engaging and just, jumps off into the crowd and, jumps the barricade and goes in there. And it's, and the guys are like going crazy, jumping up and down on the stage. I do my best to, give, my all, playing all this, complex music while maintaining, some showmanship out there, because you don't have all those, like, how should I say, all those props. And so you're going to have to become the visual stimuli for someone to be this band, be like, this band rocks, dude. It's an amazing experience. You should see them live. And we got that because we dove into the bands that we liked and we saw that they were kind of doing the same thing. They were saying, well, we don't have anything, so we have to give 110% because, you can go and see, famous band X and famous band Z and Y. And literally, if you just look at the guys in the band, they're just standing still, dude. They're just standing still. And behind them, it's like a whole Christopher Nolan movie playing with the lights and whatever, It's like I'm seeing Interstellar, but like this band is playing, and we do, we recognize that, and good for them because they are in a level where they can be like, well, I can chill in that part and let the light designer do its thing, and it's still going to be amazing for the crowd. It comes with being, a professional band, but we're not in that stage, so they can. I guess they can definitely look forward to 4 people being very engaging and being very in their faces and being very ready to just party and throw down. And if you are, even if you are not into it, then that's not the show for you. We just give, literally blood, sweat, and tears in there. And if you don't want to give blood, sweat, and tears back, it's not going to be the situation for you. We are coming there. We are hungry, and we want to, play, entertain, meet people, connect with people, and and make people a part of our family because we believe in who we are as people and what we do and what we are all about. So it's I think they can await, an intense experience. That's what I would just say. But but a very raw one. It's not.
Yeah. An intense and high energy experience. There's movement and head banging and jumping and engagement with the crowd. It's just like a heavy metal show, and
how it should be, me it should how it should be in its in its raw form, where people just like have this angst and all this energy that they want to release, but without all the bells and whistles. I would say, not to say that if we were not in that position we wouldn't have it. I mean, when we do have the luxury of bringing a light designer in, we are, but we even then we have that conversation of, okay, let's not forget, even if it's 10 people down there or 10,000 people down there, we're still gonna play like it's 10,000 people out there. So the lights can do their thing, the front of house guy can do his thing, but we are coming to absolutely destroy.
I have to say, with it being so high energy and intense, how do you guys prepare for it? How do you rehearse? Do you put the same energy into your rehearsals?
Yeah, exactly.
We cannot do it any other way, because when you try to do that stuff only on stage, it's not going to work. Because the body, for me at least, the body needs to be conditioned in the way that you're going to perform on stage. If I have to sing and headbang at the same time, I cannot try that for the first time on stage. So every rehearsal is like a live show here. We are sweaty in the end of it. We want to, just go sleep because we are super tired. But yeah, that's the way that we are on stage, is the way that we rehearse. And most of the time on stage, the conditions are better than where we are rehearsing. I mean, at least most of the times it's not that hot.
Yeah, for me it's like it's a never ending cycle, and I'm tired. That's the experience for me. It just goes on and on and on, and it never stops, and I'm very, very tired.
Right. And you've shared the stage with a long list of acts, including Slipknot, Evanescence, Sepultura, and Bullet for My Valentine. When you're playing with bands on that level, what do you learn?
Oh, for us, it's a field trip. Literally, it's okay. We did our thing. Glad the guys liked it, but now we have to just cool off and just, like you said, go and see Bullet for My Valentine, go and see Slipknot, see literally pick their show apart and see what we can do, what we cannot do, how they do things, and how can we get into that level. For me, the main thing that I've learned working from all those bands is what it really means to be professional. Professionalism can go such a long way in this business, and you see those people that they're strict on their schedules, and they have certain routines that help them perform and just go out there and kill it every day. Because, like we said before, we do a rehearsal and then I just want to go and die for like 3 days. And those people have to do it the next day. So you talk to them and you just have conversations with them, and most of the time they're very welcoming people. They just want to share their wisdom and their experience. So for me, I think the thing that I've learned that is most precious to me, it's, be professional, be on time, be ready on time, give it your all, take care of yourself and your body and your mental and physical health. You're going to have to do this a lot. Be fearless. It's something that I think it's a great lesson that I've learned from all these people. Like, never second guess who you are or what are you trying to say. If it's true to your heart, people are just gonna talk smack, all day. you're just going to have to believe in your vision and in your dreams, and just, never stop, keep doing it. People appreciate the bands that are, there, not the 3-year bands that just follow a fad, and they kind of have some buzz and success and they just go away because they cannot do anything else. They just, if you are, if you are there and if you keep at it, you'll get eventually you'll get that, rite of passage, and people will, come just to see you, not just to come to see you open for someone.
Yeah,
True.
and for me, it's it's always very interesting to watch the production behind the stage.
Yeah, that's
because
amazing.
for such famous bands, it's always, they do have their production team, and it's how they are able to do what they do day after day, and maintain such a good level of of performance, and of playing their instruments. And it's amazing to see how those stuff are organized, and how many people need to help the musicians in order to let them do their thing, because when musicians tend to do more things than they should, that takes a little bit out of their performance energy, I should say. And seeing how those bands, have their team, and how they trust their team, and how their teams work behind the stage for them, to be able to be in their best shape and go out there and, give the one hell of a show. That is very, interesting and, educational.
And might I add just one last thing that just came to mind, because we were talking about it. Also, be responsible. And by responsible, I mean you automatically become somewhat of a public figure, and people will cling on to what you do and what you say. So if you are, because we've played with a lot of bands, and some of them are very sociable, I should say, or they're very friendly, and they will come and just hang out for like 15 minutes, an hour, or whatever, maybe all day. And that thing, if you are a smaller band or you are a fan, that can go so far for you. It can inspire you, and it can help you even grow as a person, and keep doing what you're doing, or just plain old, like make your day. But some of those bands that are not like that, it can be, and I don't mean just not coming out of your van or whatever because you want to rest or something. I'm talking about, someone just who wants to just say hi and just straight like blowing them off. That can be, like really heartbreaking for someone. So you have to understand that in the end, you're here to express yourself artistically, try, to figure out life through music, but also to make people, have a great day and have a great night, and have, create good memories with them. So you have to be responsible. You have to think twice before you want to make that choice of, oh, well, I cannot do this right now. Because you know what, in my honest opinion, you have to do it. You have to say hi. You have to sign that thing. You have to say, hey guys, I just, like I heard your band, and like I might not have seen you, but I've heard something there, and it's really cool. Have a nice day. Even that like 30 second conversation can go so far. And if you are like, and excuse my language here, but if you're a dick, that's, you have to be responsible, man. You have to know what goes on every moment that you're in a festival, or like a show, because whether you like it or not, like I said, you're kind of a public figure, so people count on you for something. You have to rise up to the occasion. So yeah, responsibility. I think I've learned a lot. We learned a lot, about responsibility and being responsible and being aware of what we do and what is the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's a good one actually that you don't think about or hear about too often. Your actions will have a massive impact on someone else, be it good or bad. So yeah. And your gigs then, when you think about all the gigs that you've played, is there one that sticks in your mind that you like to revisit over and over again as maybe the most perfect show?
I think I'll give you top 3 for me. Actually, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's going to be
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think number 1 was playing with Evanescence.
Yeah, for me.
Because we grew up with that band. Marianna is like so influenced by Amy Lee, and I'm also like very influenced by this band and their ability to just write hit after hit after hit, and just opening up for them in Ukraine, in Kiev, with like 5,000 people, something like that, 5.5, I don't remember, just a sea of people, and just playing there and being like, okay, this is our first big show and it's really special. And then just look, side stage, and there's like Emily and Will Hunt and everybody, and they're checking out our band, and it's like, I remember just freezing up and be like, Jesus Christ, don't make a mistake now. Don't make a mistake in front of your idols, buddy. That won't be a good look on you. And being like very concentrated, then like this whirlwind in my head of like, okay, don't screw this up. But then again, now you're tensing up and you're not loose, and just in the end, just having this inner monologue with you and your imaginary like Evanescence members in your head, like, can you guys just please go away? And then just meeting them, and they're being the most kind, down to earth, approachable, funny human beings you can ever meet. Just amazing, and I think that's my number 1. I think number 2 was our recent show in Switzerland. We played the Riverside Festival, and just again, a couple of thousand, people there, very into it, very, happy that, they checked out a band that they've never seen before. We also tend to, stay true to our roots, and even if it's a festival or, like club show, we tend to jump the stage and just go over the barricade and hang for like 15 minutes before we go backstage, and then come back to the crowd and just say hi and mingle with the crowd. Just seeing people very, very excited about us and very into it, very engaging show. I remember Marianna was giving a speech about one song we have, which is about nature and preserving our planet, and I just started doing the wave, and everybody was just doing the wave, and Marianna turned around because she didn't know why people were doing the wave. But just craziness all around. Great show, amazing production. All the people, they're very, very kind people. And finally, I think I would say opening up for Bullet for my Valentine.
Yeah, because that was our first big show.
That was our first big show, yeah.
Very first.
In our hometown, which is quite stressful because, you want to make your people proud, and you want them to recognize you as a legit band that, all its trials and tribulations are, accepted, and now you've made it to the big stage and they accept you and stuff. So I'll also say that. But man, I'd be remiss if I say that, playing with Sepultura, Slipknot, and Ginger wasn't, fun as hell.
Yeah,
it was fun as an event, but not fun, when the conditions, because
it was so hot.
It was like
almost like passed out.
Yeah, well, it was like 50 degrees on stage, so
yeah, it was
not fun to be on that stage.
Yeah, it was survival mode. It was like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, we have like half an hour, just survive. Literally, it's like 50 degrees. It's hard to breathe. It's hard to move. I remember the Red Cross told me like, you cannot go up with that mask. You're gonna die. And I was like, well, I'd rather die on the stage or whatever. Just being super dramatic. But yeah, that's it for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I agree. These are my top three festivals and slash concerts, we have ever played. But each show is different. I really liked also what we did. The Athens show that we did last November. It was one of the biggest headline shows that we've done here in our hometown. That was really fun because
Oh
we
yeah, right, man. I forgot about that. That was a fun show.
yeah, because you have your own fan base down there, and people know your lyrics, and they want to to share the moment with you so much, and it's also fun when we play larger sets, duration wise, because we have more time to engage with them, and to be a little bit more playful with the dynamics of the show also. And that, I believe it creates a different kind of atmosphere, because when you have like 30 or 40 minutes on stage, you just want to go with the bangers and with the high energy only songs. But when you have like 1 hour or 75 minutes, you can also do the kind of more spacey thing, or the more emotional stuff somewhere in your set. And that is also something really interesting, and something that I enjoy very much.
But I do think that you should also it's I think it's imperative that you, not that you, but maybe I should do it, but like, I think the Evanescence show was for Marianna something that was very cool,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Emily was like the first heavy concert that you went to, something like that, like seeing Emily with
it was the very
it was a full circle moment.
Yeah. I was like really, really, really impressed by going to a rock show, like a higher energy show on my own when I was like a teenager. And it was really like a huge revelation to me to see a woman on stage, and see her headbanging, and see her become sweaty, and give kicks here and there, and being so so herself, and so not so polished, I should say, because the female singers that I've seen right up to that moment were like a little bit more polished, a little bit more how to say
I do believe they still are a bit that way, like they are more crystallized, I should say, and she's not afraid to get like down and dirty.
And I said, okay, so we can do that. I want to do that. And some years later, playing with them, and it was surreal. It was literally a dream come true, a full circle. Starting somewhere, and then getting to play in the same show with one of your favorite artists. I mean, I don't know, I feel very lucky, and very very lucky to be able to say that I have experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to that band. Like, I remember Marianna approaching Emily like very very cautiously, like, is like a bodyguard gonna jump on me or whatever, and she just turned around and gave like Marianna like the biggest hug I've ever seen. No joke. Yeah, like such a sweet person. This is what I was telling that's what we were saying before about responsibility. You get something like that, you get like one of your idols, not even like recognizing you, but being so friendly, like hugging you and staying with you and talking about stuff. You're over the moon. You just it helps you, it gives you energy to do that for 25 years,
Yeah, exactly. And that'd be a good example of, just imagine if she had been the complete opposite. That would have almost destroyed your dreams.
Yeah, that is true. That's why some people do not want to, meet their idols. And
Yeah.
I understand that, because if you get disappointed, like your whole world crumbles, everything you've believed in. I understand that, but thankfully it wasn't that the case with Evanescence, and I'm really, really, really happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I always say we have to have the good with the bad. So without naming names now, is there a gig in particular that stands out as maybe the worst experience you've had, and how did you overcome it?
Wow.
Yes, there is one.
Oh God. How much time do you have? For me, it's definitely, like humble beginnings. Like drum sets and falling over and guitars not working and just, being absolutely ridiculed in front of people. It's always something hard, but it makes your skin strong, thicker, and you tend to learn from, all of that and how to handle yourself in a situation like that, even on the big stage. But I I remember a show in Belgium that was just a disaster. The production was, oh my God, it was absolute, absolute shit, man. Like they had half a drum set, and they didn't see my rider where I would mention that I wouldn't bring a drum set, for myself, and they were like calling local people that played drums to just borrow, like a snare drum or like a floor tom, or do you have a cymbal stand or whatever. And I remember like one of the cymbal stands were from a junior, from like a kid's drum set, and it was just awful show. I remember talking to Marianna afterwards and going, "This is the lowest of my lows. I've hit rock bottom. I know what it's like. I'm stronger for it, but this is, just so you know, this is rock bottom for me. I've never been more embarrassed, angry, and just pissed off at a promotion in my life.
I'm not
Never in my life.
surprised.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was a show where, I was very eager to meet, one of my favorite bands, and they just, they weren't having it, and it kind of ruined the band for me. It's very hard for me to listen to their, to their most like recent outputs. It's very, I cannot bring myself to, because it's that thing where, I also learned from that. And like in Switzerland, we uh, we went we were playing on the 28th and on the 27th or something like that. Like I said before, like Limp Bizkit was playing, and they're a band that's like full of my heroes. I appreciate everyone in there, but I've heard all the rhetoric, like they're the most gracious people on earth. No, they're douchebags or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't care. They inspire me to do what I do, so I don't want to know. It's okay. I just want to go see them live, party and just go home. But that show, yeah, that was really hard for me to just see people that inspired me, to pick up the sticks, just being like, yeah, just go. Not only that, but literally go out of their way to sabotage every small band in
Oh, man.
playing the show. Yeah, like I remember their crew coming over and be like, "Oh, let me see your like in-ears." Oh, well, you cannot use that. And it was like, well, why? Because that model is not compatible with our models, and we are risking a malfunction, like thing or whatever. And just our front of house guy being like, yeah, this makes no sense. You're just straight up lying right now. And just, really big leaguing everyone. And just me being so like shattered, dude. Like, so it's like, I was like, it's you guys. You don't need to do that. Like, so many people are here to see you, and you just care about my little old band. Like, what are you so afraid of, dude? Like,
Yeah.
if I was you, I would probably be like, hell, play louder than me. Play like, there were like dB limits. You have to play with a 90 decibel dB limit and with a low cut so you don't have any bass in your sound. It's like,
Oh,
come on, dude. Like, if I
there's
was
no
in
need
your,
for it.
yeah, it's like if I was in your place, I would be like, where are all the small bands? You get to play like 10 dB louder than me. Go kick some ass, guys. Like gain the crowd. I'll
Yeah.
already gain it. I don't have to try. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's
come
the way it
on,
should
man.
be.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's be gracious, dude. Come on, you've reached the pinnacle. You're there. Just don't be a dick, man. Don't be a dick. It's not nice. Like we said before, it's a responsibility. Be responsible, man. Those people look up to you. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And Marianna, is there one for you?
For me, it was also the Belgium show that Ody said, because when the drummer suffers, the whole band suffers. That's something that I've learned, the hard way. Yeah, there were a lot of technical problems with that show. I don't understand how that show even happened in the end, because I remember Ody doing sound check on the snare, and the snare head breaking, and he told me that we have a broken
Yeah, we have a broken head, and we need to either change heads
and we
or
cannot change it because they do not have
spare one or
spare
whatever.
one. So we're gonna play with a snare that has a broken head. And I said, yeah, that's
Cool, man.
that's gonna go very well.
Fucking A.
For me, that was I think the worst show that we've ever played. Other than that, I think one of the very first shows that we did, maybe it was the second or the third, I'm not quite sure, before I had in years. Like I said, here in Greece, there are not suitable places for a heavy metal band to play, because the room is not constructed properly, and you cannot the sound is not good in most places here. So in one of our very first shows, the play that we played was so bad and so not right for what we were doing, that that I was just suffering on stage, because I was like screaming, trying to hear myself from the wedges, and I knew that this is not how it's supposed to be. So I was really, really, really bummed out during that show, and from that point on, I decided in ears for me, because I'm not gonna be the one to pay, because there are no correct place, no right places here to in Greece to play for a metal band. So for me, those are the two worst ones. Mostly, I believe that when every musician has like serious technical problems, it makes our job really, really, really difficult. And
you have ups and downs.
Your concentration just breaks, and you cannot focus on the show. You're just trying to deal with technical problems all the time.
Yeah, you want everything to run smoothly, just so you can focus on your playing in the show and in the moment.
Yeah, you want to be able to get into the zone.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I suppose we better lift the mood a bit after hearing about the worst gigs. So how would you guys like to evolve as a band? What would Project Renegade be like in, say, 5 years' time?
Really good question. I want to definitely make our sound more versatile, just because I'm a fan of a lot of music, and I do want to have that kind of like that, let's just say that, that phenomenon of, going like, well, what are they going to do next? I'm not so sure. And I do kind of want to see our band doing more outside of music. I want to be in that place, where we can, uh, you know, help with, like charities, or help with, help like play places that need, more music, and they don't get bands, that come, there, they don't go there, excuse me, like, a lot. And just hopefully, for me, if I have a person that uses my music to achieve their dreams, I'm all set, man. This is literally why I do what I'm doing. It's I chose this because this was my dream, and I'm somehow making it, into becoming a reality. And this feeling is something that is amazing. And so, if my output can, in like 5 years, help people, maybe reach another, level in their lives that they are striving for, and I can be, a helping factor in that, I would be so happy. But I do have a vision of us branching, out as a band and as a musical sound, for people to be, like, like the previous album was this, and now they're going to do that, and who knows what they're going to do next. Because I think I want us to be even, more, free and more boundless than we already are. Just, and whatever, that brings. I just want us to have to musically be, just say, boundless. That would be for me. That's what I want to see.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, you're so noble. I just want to say, with 2 Grammys and 1 Oscar for
I just want to make a boatload of money, dude. I don't care about what you're saying about your artistic boundless stuff. I mean, I just want money.
No, for real though. I mean, what I would like us to do in the next 5 years is, have a more constant flow of new music, of new material, and be able to tour in places that we've never been before. We want to visit as many countries as possible, and get to know more people, and get to to connect with more people, because each time that we that you go to a new country, I always have like a little I'm always a little bit anxious, what are they gonna think of us, how are they gonna like our music, are they gonna hate us? But when you make that connection, it's like the most wonderful feeling in the world. And I would like that to to reach out and go to as many places as possible. And like Ody said, being able to do that and give back to the community and to people who are in need and need your help, that is something that that would be amazing to be able to do. And to dedicate our art and our our efforts into helping people, because in the end, music is all about helping people and giving them a friend. For me, that's what in the end, that's what I want for us, to be a friend to every person that that is out there and wants to listen to our music.
I like it. I like it. And before we get into the last couple of questions, then, future plans for the rest of the year that are set in stone? Any gigs, anything at all you want to share with us?
Nothing that is set in stone right now, because we just got back from summer touring, and we're in the negotiation process of for all the winter stuff. So it's kind of pretty early to set everything in stone. We do want to make a show here in Athens, just like like a release party kind of thing. We're looking to do that. And then just, hitting the road again, maybe visiting some countries that we never played before, because it's, like Marianna said, just, branching out and just not playing the same, cities and countries, because we've done that. We know we have fans there, and, we know that we have a strong thing going on, but we need to build, a relationship and make it bigger with, the rest of the Europe and hopefully the US.
Yeah, but to be honest, there is something right now that's going on behind the scenes for something that we've never done before. And I really wish that we could share it with you, but it's not fixed yet. But let's just say that it's somewhere near you.
Right. We'll all keep an eye on your socials, so to wait for the announcement.
Yes.
Right. We'll dive into the last few questions. So these are a couple of random odd ones, but I'm intrigued to see your answers. If you could see any performer from history in concert for one night only, who would it be?
Wow. Oh, God. I mean, my gut feeling instantly to those kind of questions goes to Chester from Linkin Park, because I really do miss him. But I have seen Linkin Park live, so I don't know if I should choose another one. Do you want to go first? Give me some time to think.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Oh shit! Yeah.
What
am I, a dumbass? Of course, Freddie Mercury. God, yes. Okay, yeah. I'll second that.
I like it. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
And the next one. So this is where the odd part comes in. If you had to spend 24 hours locked in a room with any musician from history, who would it be?
Ooh, nice. Oh, God, so many choices. I'm having option paralysis here. 24 hours with a musician. I like a good conversation, so I'm just gonna go Devin Townsend.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I will go in a little bit, earlier years, and I would say I'm between two. I'm torn between two.
It's so hard though, right?
Yeah. Okay, I would like to converse with Mozart. Yeah, because he's a music genius, and he must have been a lot of fun to be around too.
That's really thinking outside the box now.
Mm-hmm.
I went classical for a bit, but I was like, I'm just going to stick with rock, Just me and Beethoven in a room going like, "Can you hear
me?" Oh man. And the final one. So I've been told this is very tough. What song would appear on the soundtrack to your life?
Oh, you're killing me. Wow. You know what? I do have the answer to that, because they've always said that to me. We had that conversation before, but I just want to come up with my own answer. That's why I'm trying so hard right now. Maybe you go first.
I don't know. I'm dumbfounded right now. I don't know what to because one song that kind of has to be about
who you are.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I'm gonna go a little bit classical again, and because it's the first song that popped in my mind. I don't know why. Claire de Lune by Debussy.
Okay.
Wow.
The piano version. No, with only just piano. I don't know why. It just popped in my head. Maybe there is something, behind that. There is no reason.
Has to be that one, so.
And I'm just gonna go with well, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go with that. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
I like it. I like it. Good choice. Oh, listen, guys, truly, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed chatting with you now.
Oh, thanks, man. It's an
Thank
honor.
you very much.
Yeah.
A moment stretched in time with empathy. A bet to lose at every corner. Manipulated to uncertainty. Confirmed to hit at every warning. Forget the past, 'cause nothing lasts. And after all, what are you earning? The irony of this depravity. This is your fucking life reported. Don't you know the game is rigged? Rules of domination. Can't you see the fixes in? This is our salvation. Dependent on a mental atrophy, dictated by a higher calling. But you should check who is this majesty, 'cause mostly it's a truth appalling. Don't you know the game is rigged? Rules of domination. Can't you see the fixes in? This is our salvation. Time after time, you get better every time, and they take what you like for their own sick pleasure. This bitter life is what gets you down inside. With your life now at stake, will you win this pressure? Don't you know the game is rigged? Rules of domination. Can't you see the fixes in? This is our salvation.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. And if you're interested in signing up to Band Builder Academy, use the link in the show notes below and enter the code CONCERTS and you'll receive 10% off. So, until next time, keep rocking.
Hey, what are you guys still doing here? The show's over. It's over. You can go home. Go on. We'll see you next time. We'll be here. Bye.